Can't hear me?
Really low. Is your mic far away from you?
No, it's right in front of me.
All right, I'm recording.
You're recording now?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sonny. Read the statement again, please.
In accordance with the governor's executive orders, the Illinois Department of Public Health, the IDPH regulations, and the Centers for Disease Control, CDC guidance, the city has determined that in-person meetings or meetings conducted under the purview of the Open Meetings Act is not practical or prudent. Therefore, remote participation is permitted. More?
Okay, call it to order then.
All right. I call this Public Health and Safety Judiciary and Ethics Committee to order. Call to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Here.
Alderman Sismarski,
Yes.
Alderman Eugene Wesley, Alderman Roy Wesley, Alderman Woods.
Yes.
So then, I'm going to look for the approval of the minutes of the meeting of December 10th, 2020 for the Public Health, Safety, Judiciary, and Ethics Committee minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Yes.
Alderman Sismarski,
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
Have report and recommendations. Chief Freeze will be taken over for this. It's for the approval of the replacement of investigative vehicle number 416 in an amount not to exceed $26,600.
Make that motion.
Second.
Questions? Take the roll.
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Yes.
Alderman Sismarski,
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
That passes. Second is the approval of the replacement of squad number 404, number 405, number 408 in an amount not to exceed $104,157. Need a motion?
Wooddale Council now.
Is that your motion, Sonny?
That's my motion.
Second.
I have a question.
Fire away, Mayor.
Deputy Chief, looking at the cars, I mean, in one statement, we're saying cars are being kept 4 to 5 years from the previous 3 years. But one of the cars is only in service for 41 months. I was just curious as to what's going on there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, somebody has their microphone on, or there's somebody that's talking in the background. I
Okay.
can hear you, Deputy Chief.
Okay. We looked at these 3 cars, and what we're looking at basically in a nutshell is the last time we ordered the squad cars, we did not receive the shipment of the cars for close to 12 months. So looking ahead at this car in particular, number 404, even though it's only been in service for 41 months, by the time we receive shipment of these cars, it'll probably be close to November of 2021. So looking at that and also looking at the mileage, the garage is estimating that we'll put on between now and then approximately 20,000 more miles. The other 2 are going to be in service for well over 5 years before they're being replaced, and this one will be right before the 5-year mark.
Okay, thank you. That's all for me.
I have a question.
Alderman Jacob.
Deputy Chief, How many vehicles, didn't we just get 3 vehicles or 4? Well, how many do we just get recently?
I believe we replaced 3 of the patrol vehicles, and then we also recently replaced the 2 CSO vehicles in our fleet. So we try to stagger them out. And the
Yeah.
staffing's been a little bit more spread out since we've been keeping the patrol vehicles longer than we had in the past.
Was, follow up, please? Was that fiscal year 2020 then?
I cannot answer that. I don't have that information in front of me, but I can't get you that answer.
Well, maybe Brad would probably know.
Mr. Chairman?
Right ahead, Brad.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Deputy Chief Freeze stated, it took approximately 10 months to a year to get the vehicles. So they were purchased during fiscal year 2020. However, based upon our accounting rules, we have to account for them when they're received. So they would have been budgeted out of fiscal 21. You will see in the budget document, that there is a little bit of a dip in the SURF program due to the lags in these vehicle purchases. So even though the accounting for the vehicles that we just received in the police department within the past few months has been accounted for in fiscal 21, these vehicles that are proposed to be ordered tonight aren't going to be accounted for until fiscal 22. So we're not going to run into any budgetary issues in that regard. It is going to be interesting to see how this lag is going to get caught up at some point. But from an accounting standpoint, there's no real issues with it because the money's there and it's just the matching it up with when the vehicles come in. So it's not going to be a budgetary issue if that's what you're asking. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Jacob, any more follow-up?
I'm done. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
yes,
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
That passes. Good job. All right, talking about a little bit for the future here, items to be considered. Oh, you okay, Mike? Items to be considered at future meetings is our HVAC, and we'll look at that in March of 2021. I'm sorry, March 25th, 2021. We'll look at the HVAC. Any further comments? I'll look for a motion for the adjournment. I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Seconds, roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
We're adjourned, gentlemen. Thank
I'd
you.
like to call to order the Public Works Committee meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano,
Yes, here.
Alderman Jacob,
Here.
Alderman Messina,
Here.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Here.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
Here,
Alderman Woods.
Here.
We have a quorum. I need approval of the minutes for January 28th, 2021, Public
I'll
Works.
make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any corrections to the minutes? If there are none, roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
That carries. Report recommendation of approval of the replacement Public Works vehicle number 2010 through 2015 and number 512 and 008 in an amount not to exceed $91,840. That is my motion.
Second.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Simple question for Mr. Lane. So we have two F-450s and we're going to F-350s, and we're going to put plows on these trucks. I mean, we're going to a smaller truck. Is it going to be sufficient for these plows, or I'm just curious why
350
we're
scan.
doing
Chairman, I can take that.
Go ahead, Director.
Thank you. To answer your question, Mayor, Vehicle 210 is an F-350 being replaced in kind with an F-350. The F-350 is what we use for all of our plow trucks, our pickup trucks fitted with plows. The 512, I'm sorry, is an F-450 with the utility body, which is the mechanics looking truck with the built-in toolboxes around the bed. It's the bed's starting to rust out. It doesn't really get used enough. So the idea is to switch that to an F-350 to not only save some considerable funds, but to also pick up another backup plow truck for our fleet. So the F-350, to answer your question, is more than capable of handling the snow, and it better serves our fleet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I have a
Question?
question. What year are these trucks that we're replacing, Director?
210 is a 2011, and 512 is a 2008. So we cycle out our pickup trucks every 10 years or so. We aim, of course, it depends on, the way the body and the mechanics hold up on it. And our dump trucks, we try to cycle out every 12 years.
And so these trucks, will they, they're going to be turned in for trade-in, or what happens to the old trucks?
The existing fleet vehicles will be deemed surplus under a separate ordinance, and they will be sold at public auction.
Do we negotiate trade-ins? Maybe we could get a better
No.
deal as far as them. I mean, I'm just asking. I don't know.
I believe we found in the past that our best value we find when we list it for public auction and allow the bids to drive up the price, rather than
Okay.
trying to use the vehicles as trade-in.
Thank you. Alderman Jacob?
Yeah, Director Lang, a little bit similar to the mayor's question, but we're replacing 4x4s with a 4x2. I thought you really need a 4x4 for plowing.
The 4x2s are the base model that the contract starts at. All of the vehicles that we purchase will be fitted with four-wheel drive.
Okay.
Any other questions? If there are no other questions, roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next is items to consider future meetings. We have the IGA tollway coming up in March 2020. And Williams Architect, Public Works new facility, and that's coming up March this year. Any other items to consider for future meetings? If there are none, want to make a motion to adjourn? Roll call, please. Well, first I need a motion.
So moved.
Need it? Okay.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to call the Finance and Administration Committee to order. Let the minute taker please call the roll.
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
Yeah, here.
Alderman Messina,
Here.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Here.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
Here.
Alderman Woods.
Here. Next, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from January 28th, 2021. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Any questions, corrections, changes? None. Roll call.
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yep. Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
yes,
Alderman Woods.
Yes, so that passes. Next, report and recommendation, Prairie Fest 2021. Who's going to take that?
Hello, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
So as we know, Prairie Fest 2020 was rescheduled to 2021 due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Prairie Fest planning needs to begin now if we are to proceed, but the state of COVID-19 and its effect on special events still remains unknown for July. Vaccine distribution is slow at best, and the expected time frame for herd immunity is not until fall or later, with the full impact on special events being unpredictable. In addition, the tourism budget, due to the lack of hotel tax revenue, has been severely limited and is not at the level where it really needs to be in order to hold the festival. Deposits are required, commitments need to be made, and it may be impossible to ask vendors and sponsors to agree to sign on for a festival that may not happen. Knowing all this, the Special Events Committee recently met to discuss these limitations and factors and concluded that it is not in the city's best interest to hold Prairie Fest 2021, and therefore the committee voted to postpone the festival to 2022. Instead, the committee would like to see us develop a schedule of smaller events that engage the community on a reduced scale, like the recent Santa Parade, socially distanced concerts, drive-in events, things that allow people to remain apart and can be modified as needed depending on current CDC and IDPH guidelines.
I'll make that motion to delay it till 22. See how-
second,
Is there any other questions, concerns? No. Roll call?
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
yes,
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
yes,
Alderman Woods.
Yes. That passes. Next items to be considered at future meetings, budget, February 25th, COVID-19 stimulus extension timelines, March 11th. Audit RFP contract, March or April, investment policy, March, April. Is there anything else anybody'd like to add? There being none, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
second,
Second, roll call?
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Jacob,
yes,
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino,
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky,
yes.
Council.
Alderman Woods. Alderman Woods.
Anybody be quiet and with them? One second. Hello?
Alderman Woods,
Yes. We're adjourned.